with our lesson today. I need a volunteer. Would either of you be willing to help me out?
Sure.
Thank you, Cody. Okay, so, yep, come have a seat. We're going to do a little role play, and you are going to pretend to be someone who has come into a restaurant and you've ordered a meal, and I am going to pretend to be the waitress, okay? Welcome to our restaurant. Would you like to try the special today? It's clam chowder.
Sure.
Great. Here is your clam chowder. Enjoy your meal. Is something wrong with your soup?
There's a mouse in it.
There's a mouse in her soup. Thank you. You've been wonderful. You can go ahead and take your seat. There was a mouse, a dead mouse in Cody's bowl of clam chowder. Ew, gross. Yeah, no good. That will probably never happen to you. You will probably never go into a restaurant, order a meal, and have it come out to you with a dead mouse in it. Probably won't happen, but we all encounter awkward, uncomfortable situations all the time. It's just part of life. And the important thing when you end up in these situations is to work through them calmly and politely. No matter what language you speak, it's important that we work through them in that way. But today we're going to practice working through some awkward situations in English. Okay? In American English, there is an idiom. Do you remember our idiom lesson from a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an idiom in American English. And it says, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Do you want to take a guess at what that maybe means? What does this idiom mean? First of all, how does honey taste?
Good.
Good? Sweet? How does vinegar taste?
Disgusting.
It's kind of bitter and sour, not very good, right? Okay, so what do you think it means? You catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Flies like sweet.
Flies like sweet. Okay, very good. What do you think, Abby? Any ideas?
More people will be more likely to like you when you're nice.
Very good. Very good. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar. The meaning is, if there's something you need or something you want someone to do, you're more likely to get the results you want if you are kind and polite and nice and sweet than if you are rude and unkind and kind of bitter and sour, okay? You're more likely to get what you want if you're sweet. That's what this idiom means. So, we're going to put this idiom into practice with some potentially uncomfortable situations, okay? So, I'm going to put the two of you together in a team. We're a small class today, so we're just going to put the two of you together. And I want you to choose who is going to be student A and who's going to be student B.
A. B.
A and B? Okay. So A, I am going to have you pick an envelope. Okay. And when you open it up, hang on a second, wait for my instructions. There will be two cards. One is the instructions for student A and one is the instructions for student B. So grab your instructions and without reading student B's instructions, just hand them to Abby. And I want you to go ahead and work through this situation using your best English skills.
I'm sitting in seat E9. You can move, that's my seat. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, we're going to have you go ahead and turn those ones in. And I'm going to give you a second envelope, have you pick a second envelope, and this time I want you to switch. I want you to be student B, and Abby's going to be student A, okay?
I was right in business. When I got here, my shirt didn't have a hole in it, and now it does. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want a refund? Yes, I do. Thanks.
Okay, good job, ladies. Let's go ahead and tuck these away. Okay, judging by the looks on your faces, even though you know one another and your classmates, was it even a little uncomfortable here in the classroom? Yeah, those are some potentially uncomfortable situations. But I thought you handled it really well. In the second situation, Abby apologized. You know, she was the owner of a dry cleaning business, and her customer came in and told her, I have a hole in my shirt now after dropping it off. And Abby said, I'm sorry. She offered a refund. What are some phrases, Cody, that you could have used in that situation to be very polite? How about, excuse me? Could you come into the store and say, excuse me, but there's a hole in my shirt and there wasn't when I brought it in. If we march right in and say, you put a hole in my shirt, is that being like vinegar or is that being like honey?
Vinegar.
That's kind of vinegar, right? So you can come in politely, excuse me. What about the first situation? When you walk into the movie theater and someone is sitting in your seat, you were kind. No one was unkind. You don't say, out of my seat. Now, what's something you could say? You could say, excuse me, or I'm so sorry, but I think you're sitting in my seat. Here's my ticket. Okay. Let's try one more. Make sure it's not one that you've already done. And I want you to practice using some of those skills, okay? You decide who's A and who's B.
Excuse me, but this hotel room has not been cleaned.
I'm sorry. I will get someone to clean it.
Thank you.
Okay, great job, ladies. You've done terrific. Sometimes it is hard to stay calm in a situation. If you ever found a mouse in your soup, are you going to be a little upset? Yeah, you are going to be a little upset. And when you are feeling those strong emotions, it can be hard to speak calmly and politely, but you'll get better results if you do. And I think that applies to any language and any culture. So, great job, ladies. We'll see you next week.